What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So I got one here from Hit the Bricks, and then his main channel is Strong Successful Male. So let's listen in on the story. So here we go. It's an update.
The video I covered a couple days ago, which was titled, "My ex threw away a relationship for an airline pilot, now begging me back after he threw her out." And as a brief recap, that's about the guy who was with his girlfriend for like 4 years, I think. She travels a lot on business, and they were traveling together. And when they got off the plane, I guess they were getting some food, and there was a note. And apparently, as it turns out, this was a note left by the airline pilot. And lo and behold, this dude found out that she's been having an affair with this guy. She takes that flight quite often, knows the guy, blah, blah, blah. And this guy, although very hurt, is done with her. He's tossing her out. Well, she's having a colossal meltdown, one, because he's dumping her, but also because the pilot, who's a total Chad, he doesn't want to take her in. And so it ended with him being, obviously very hurt, but he's done with her. And literally, he found messages that she had to him, like saying that her mouth will be his cockpit and all these other things like that. I want to do this freaky stuff with her. I mean, it's pretty heartbreaking for him, but he handled it right. Well, here's an update with more stuff that's going on. And it's a series of responses he has to people's questions and comments. And he actually gave a little update here. And just the different ridiculous tactics he's trying to take to get this guy back. It's crazy how gals will not take accountability for their wrongdoing and the desperation to get a guy back, even though they're not in love with him. It's amazing. So I'm going to read a bunch of these responses he has, and we'll lead up to the grand finale of what she's really desperately trying to do. So it says here, in response to a question he has, she didn't leave overnight. She's leaving today around lunchtime, returning home to her parents, and she's still crying. Tomorrow I'm getting tested, and we'll do a full checkup for STDs and STIs. We're not using condoms after such a long time together. Smack. That's crazy. I have moments when I feel like I want to take her back and forgive her and give her another chance. Smack. Don't do it. And I would have if, instead of manipulating me and accusing me of everything, she would have confessed. She became desperate and begged me on her knees to forgive her. I told her she should be on her knees with her flyboy, only when she realized she's indeed just a cockpit for him. He says, P.S. He just sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I wonder why, but I'm not curious enough to accept it. This freaking douchebag sent him a friend request on Facebook. This guy probably just wants to rub it in his face. He also goes on, these are a series of responses. I rejected his request, but he sent me a message to make sure she didn't take any of my money from me. What? I guess she's trying to take money from him. Now, another one he says here, she just left and I cried. I'm not really ashamed to say it. I am not ashamed of her seeing it. I loved her so much. I don't even think she's aware how much I loved her, or she was loved. I wasn't the nice guy, not overly attached, not constantly checking in on her if she was good, but when she needed me, and it was often, I was there. Well, I guarantee you she knew how much you loved her, because that's why she figured, hey, I could do what I want, and this guy will take me back. That's why she's giving the full court press, trying to get him back, figuring that she'll cry enough, he'll take her back.
Yeah. So she wanted to mess around with Chad, and she's all, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes. No. Get the hell out of my house and stay out.
She never really knew how it is to be loved, I suppose, with her family. But I tried to show her without being overly romantic, because this is not the way I am. I really do believe I was the first and only one to ever really, really love her. Well, that's a dangerous thing. So if all her guys are usually Chads and Tyrones and low lies and everything like that, that's what she's conditioned to be with. So you're destined to get hurt. Any guy with a gal like that's going to get hurt who treats a girl like a human being. He says, I'm not a Chad, but I have options if I want. At work, when I go out to the bar with coworkers, I just always turn them down because I was always loyal. I wanted to propose. I wanted kids. It will take me a long, long time to recover from this. This house is so empty. That's all right, man. It'll take time. You were betrayed. You loved her. You thought you might marry her, but you can't take her back. And you need to learn from this. Mm-hmm. She isn't crying only because she was rejected by him and thrown out by me. I know she's afraid to go home, but she chose this. She chose to be his cockpit, as she said. So if he wants to help her, she is his problem now. Good attitude. I like this guy. I mean, he's hurt, but he is not stupid enough to take her back. Yeah. Another thing, he says, this is my opinion too. She called me, but I rejected her phone call. Everything can be said via text. She knows I want to be a father, so it's to be expected that she'll try to manipulate me. She said she'll abort if I don't want to be present. What was going on is that she then texted him and reached out to him saying that she's pregnant. Interesting timing here to just try to get him back. She's freaking crazy and threatening to abort if he doesn't take her back. I kept my text neutral. I said, if you're pregnant, fine, do a test, make sure you are. And if you are, then when possible, we can do a paternity test. If I am the father, I'll be present, but not for you. Good that he said that. I didn't even ask why she thinks she might be pregnant. I don't want to feed this. I will wait. It would have been an ideal situation, but life is life. I'm almost 100% she is not, but if she is, fine, I'll do my part, but she is not included. Yeah, guys, you got a girl pregnant, you don't want to be with her. If that's your kid, okay, you got a duty. But if it's not your kid, certainly you do not have a duty, so you never sign any birth certificates until you know. He also says, I try not to look that far yet. She might not even be pregnant, which is something I already and almost ready to bet money on, where the father can be him. There's still a long way to go. For me, I would not be as bad as I want kids, preferably while married, and to her. The second will not happen anymore, but life is what it is. I have my own flat, a good income, it wouldn't ruin me. Now, if the father's the pilot, he probably has way more money as he's a captain, but not sure what his life plans are. If she's pregnant, if this isn't a big bluff and desperation, and it's likely the pilot's kid, well, yeah.
Nope. And like if that pilot's a Chad, he's like, no, no, no. And then she's going to say, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, hell no, no, no. Hell to the no. Screw that.
Another one, he says, she called me and begged me to answer her calls because she is one step away from cutting herself, as in like a serious cut. God, now she's threatening to end herself. First, now she's pregnant. That didn't work. Now threatening to end herself. Yeah, I'm going to take this lunatic back. She was crying so bad I couldn't understand what she was saying. She's going on full-on Tuscan Raider, huh? She admitted she is not pregnant.
Nope. All right. Bye.
There's a freaking surprise. But wants me to take her back, that she will do anything I want. I told her to call him, and why not him? And she started talking shit about him, that he's a horrible person, and he manipulated her, and she didn't want to sleep with him, but she was afraid to say no. What a load of crap. He wasn't her coworker. He wasn't her boss. He was a pilot on the plane that she'd frequent on her many, business trips, and she's always taking the same freaking flight with the same. Typically, certain flights are always the same pilots and flight attendants pretty often. They have routes. Yeah. Blaming him, he forced her. Come on, she can make a complaint to him, to the airline. In the era of Me Too, it wouldn't be a problem for her. She can't even admit it.
No.
I was like, stop, please. You're lying again. And she said, no one believes her because she's a woman. Everybody would believe her because she's a woman. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I kept my calm and told her, it's fine. I don't hate her. She kept repeating she doesn't want me to hate her. I don't hate you. I don't want to wish anything bad on you, but I need you to leave me alone. Can you do that? Now she's blaming him for everything, that he's a sexist jerk and heartless, stuff like that. I hope she'll not hurt herself for real, though. She loves herself too much.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a big narcissist. She's full of crap, man. She's not going to hurt herself. But if you're that concerned, call the cops. They can do a wellness check on her.
Yeah.
Another one, he says, well, after she was done begging, she texted that if I don't take her back, she'll move in with him. Didn't he already turn her down? She says he told her anytime she can move in with him. Of course, I don't believe her, but maybe he will allow her to stay with him for a while. Hey, it's not your problem anymore.
Yeah.
Another one, he says, at your advice, I sent the guy some of the texts that she sent me regarding him manipulating her. He answered me a few hours later with tens of laughing emojis and asked if I wanted to see. And again, I really want to see some of the texts she sent me. I didn't have time to say yes or no. He sent me tons of screenshots that made me want to vomit. I think this fucker's enjoying. Why'd you reach out to him? And last one, he says she wasn't telling him stuff about me. She was telling him how she wants to swallow and have his love juice on her face, how his uniform makes her wet, and how she wants to get me gagged with his tie to be his slave and his pet.
Oh, God.
He said he knows the law, so he will not
Oh,
put himself into problems, but she used to send him a hot picture every day, so he did not send me those. And that is the end of all that. And this just goes on and on and on. Obviously, this is not over. But the point is, she's losing her freaking mind. It's amazing. She had no problem cheating on this guy repeatedly, lying, destroying their whole relationship. She knew how much he loved him, and therefore she figured he'd take her back. Wrong. And this guy, I don't believe for a second he's going to take her back, even though she's saying that. So the craziness they go into, threatening a pregnancy, threatening to harm oneself. Yeah, this guy dodged a big one because he could have married her and had a kid with her, and nobody believes that she's pregnant. So anyhow, guys, there you go. That's the update to that. Nothing ceases to amaze me.
All right. So, oh, wow. That was crazy. But yeah, no, don't take her back. And yeah, he's going to stick by that. And yeah, that's it. So she can go kick rocks. Yeah. All right. If any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKL special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Wherever you are, stay safe. And I'll see you in my next